Welcome back, everyone. Lights, camera, action. It's Make Our World Your Runway. You know, this is the weekly show that interviews the most fascinating individuals from the world of modeling, fashion, beauty, business, and even the entertainment industry. And today, we are going to go into the beauty industry. And of course, as most of you know, that's my forte. So get ready for an exciting show. But as always, okay, we do want to thank the sponsors that make this show possible every week. And that is the Global Trade Chamber, 100 Successful Women in Business, Lux Salon, Queen Beauty Network, the Tower Club, Royal Dames, Vita Designs, and Casa Calabria. So thank you so much, sponsors, for making this show possible. And as I always tell our viewers, make sure you subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so you can see all the shows from Make Our World Your Runway and Success Stories. And I highly recommend that our viewers tune into Success Stories because this show features the most amazing women in the world of business and community service. From humble beginnings to successful entrepreneurs, these women will totally inspire you. And of course, as I always like to tell you, get ready for some exciting conferences, speakers, and awards, as 100 Successful Women in Business and the Global Trade Chamber are going to come to a city near you. So we're calling all successful women in business because it's time to shine a light on all of your achievements. And the next show that is coming up is going to be May 14th. It's going to be a Women in Business Expo, and it is going to be at the Community Center in Sunrise, Florida. Now, these shows are free, but you must register because I can tell you all these shows that I've been to, they are absolutely a sellout. And of course, at these shows, you do know if you've been there, there's networking, conferences, a business expo, fashion show, and of course, Make Our World Your Runway always goes live. So remember to put that date down, May 14th, 2026. It's going to be in Sunrise. It's going to be a nationwide roadshow, Women in Business Expo. It's a full day of business conferences, networking, connections designed to help women grow, scale, and lead. Now, once again, you must register for the event. So please go to the website at www.100swb.com for all the information. Now, if you want to be a speaker or you also want to be an exhibitor, there's information there to register. But please do it early because these shows are totally a sellout. So once again, the website, www.100swb.com for all the information. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we like to say again, lights, camera, action, it's on to our show. And we have a very lovely and distinguished guest here today. She's in the beauty industry, and we have a lot in common. And it's amazing because many of you women know out there the art of dream lashes. But before the lash industry truly began to flourish, she found the dream lashes. And it was the perfect moment in time, just before the eyelash artistry became a global trend. And of course, you know, timing is everything to build success. But instead of me going on and on, I want to bring her on so she can talk about all her amazing accomplishments. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Victoria Greenberg to Make Our World Your Runway. Victoria, welcome.
Thank you, Angela, for inviting me for your show. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you here. So, as you and I were speaking before, we have something in common before you even went into the lash business about cosmetics. So, tell us about that part.
So I was a makeup artist in New York City. First, I started in Lancome and trained by Rose Barton, and then moved to Chanel. Had the best training, best experience. That experience shaped my understanding of beauty at the highest level. I learned that true artistry is not about doing many things, it's about mastering one craft completely. Then I moved to Florida and I decided to start my own business. I finished esthetician school
Oh,
and I went through training for lash artistry. And I choose lashes because they are not just a beauty treatment, they are a form of art. Eyes are the first thing we notice when we meet
right.
someone. They create first impression. Um, they can spark confidence, connection, even love at first sight.
That's true. That's true. Yes. And you said something that's very true. I know a lot of, I mean, I have long eyelashes. Okay. So if I put mascara on, they do come out. But when I decide to put, put some of the false eyelashes in there and I walk in a room, it makes a statement. Okay, people look at me and go, whoa, okay, oh my God, look at those eyes, you know. And when I was on, when you talked about the cosmetic industry, I was also in the entertainment industry. So being on Broadway, you always had to do makeup for whatever show you were doing, okay. And if I was doing my own show, of course, that was my own thing. But that was one thing that I noticed was the lashes, okay. It truly made a statement. And there's so many women today, and I have to take a step backwards on this. My cousin, I hate her. I hope she's not listening to this because I hate her. She's got lashes that are out to here without her doing anything. And I'm like, don't you wear any mascara? Oh, very little. I'm just like, okay. But she's just a natural beauty.
She probably has extensions.
No, she doesn't. She was born, when she was born, that was one of the things that the doctor noticed, that those lashes were so long. And I even said to her, I said, you sure you're not telling me the truth? I said, you know, I've been in this business. You have to have extension. No, this is me. And she's one of these people that doesn't have to wear a lot of makeup. And I just look at her, I go, I'm not talking to you. But she's the sweetest thing, okay? But, you know, and so many women today, you're in the right business because I'm sure you hear it and see it. So many women want those permanent lashes.
Yes, so that's what I do. This is the eyelash extension. So imagine you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you're smiling because you have perfect lashes. As soon, you know, when you apply it once, they last 4 or 5 weeks, but you have to come for maintenance because lashes grow.
Right.
But then in the morning, you wake up and you're ready to go. You can just put blush, lipstick, and that's it.
That, ladies, I hope you're listening to that because that is the perfect thing. Because, you know, I have allergies. So eventually I'm going to come to you about doing permanent lashes. But, you know, when you have to stand there and you're putting your eyeshadow and whatever on, that's one thing. But then you got to stand there with that mascara and it's like, ooh, it's nerve wracking because you do. Today, I think women, with the schedules that they have between working and if they have children or whatever they're doing, okay, or even running their own business, they want to be able to get up in the morning and to be able to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to put a little blush on, lipstick, my lashes, I'm ready to go out the door. And you look professional. And if you're going out in the evening, you're looking just as professional.
Yes, most of my clients, they're professional people, doctors, lawyers, and usually it's ladies who has kids, who has business, and who wants to exercise in the morning. I myself go to hot yoga. You can have a mascara at hot yoga, but with
No.
eyelash extensions, you look good even at hot yoga. You can run, you can swim. I have a few clients who are scuba divers. They say, my eyes looks amazing in a scuba diving mask. So it's just make your lifestyle, busy lifestyle, saving your time.
Exactly.
Do
Exactly.
things you like and spend less time to look beautiful.
You know, it's so funny when you talk about that. A person could go scuba diving and those lashes won't come off. I did something one time. We don't know how this happened. I used a waterproof mascara and I went swimming. And I came out of the pool. Women are looking at me saying, those lashes didn't move. I said, I know. I said, even with waterproof mascara, for some unknown reason, it didn't move. I got out of the water, dried my face off, put my clothes on, and there you go. So the idea of doing permanent lashes is even better because all you got to do is jump in the pool and that's it. You come out, dry yourself off, and you are ready to go. And you're right. It does work today, especially with people's lifestyles.
Yeah, it's
okay.
saving time. It's saving time in the morning, saving time at night to take off mascara.
Exactly. Yeah, because there's a lot of people when they take mascara off, they'll rub and rub that eye, and you can cause. You'd be surprised what you can cause behind the eye if you don't know how. I mean, yourself, myself, we've been in the professional business. We know how to take mascara off. A lot of women don't. Okay, and there's a lot of women I found in the industry, and I'm going back before any of this became popular. A lot of women didn't even know how to put mascara on. They dreaded the fact that they had to put mascara on. And mascara, I always used to see with Lancome, especially when Definicils came out. I was one of the biggest sellers. Oh, yeah, Definicils. Oh, I've got a story with that one.
Hypnose.
Oh, yeah. Well, Definicils, that's how I convinced, I think, Margaret Sharkey to make me a trainer. I was working they had me at the Saks store one day in New York City. And lunchtime was always crazy because you had all the businesswomen there. And I had this particular woman come up to me and she said, why should I buy this mascara from you when everybody is selling mascara and everybody's making a claim? And from the corner of my eye, I saw Margaret standing there and I said, okay, I got to be on my best behavior on this one. I said, look at my lashes. She says, well, you have long lashes. I said, I do, but if I take my mascara off, I said, I'm going to look like anybody else. I said, this particular mascara is going to lift and separate every individual lash to make you look like you've got false lashes. She just looked at me. She says, okay, give me 3 of them right now. She's because I'm going away. I said, Margaret came from out the counter. Okay, you're the new trainer. I said, I am. that's how I became the trainer for Lancome. But, again, and I think you probably understand this too, it's all about personality. I always found in the cosmetic industry, women are very sensitive. And you almost have to be careful on how you talk to them.
Absolutely. You have to make them feel special,
Mm-hmm.
happy, and
Yeah, you get it. I would have women that would come into the counter and say, I want to look like you. I said, no, you don't. I said, you have your own style. I said, sit down. Let me show you what we can do. And I think that was my favorite part of the job, when women would come in and say, I need a new look, or I'm not satisfied with my look, and what can I do? And if I used to tell people, I said, this is like a canvas. You have to set the face first. I said, that's your canvas. I said, it's like what a painter does. He primes the wall, then goes ahead and fills in. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. And once you were able to give these people a good makeover, a good canvas, oh my God, they were your friend for life.
yes, absolutely. And they every appointment, it's like every person leaving my table, they're so happy. And I have clients who stay with me for 12 years.
I could believe that. I
Yes.
have, I still have clients that actually call me up and say, Angela, where are you? I said, well, I said, I have my own business now. I said, but, oh, you retired? I said, all right, what do you need? That's like when you're in the beauty business, it's like you never retire, I'll go to Macy's sometimes in Boca Raton. And Margaret's in there every now and then, and I'll put my hand like this, go, oh, she sees me, she's going to pull me up. And one day she saw me come in, she said, uh-oh. She said, well, I'm only back part-time. She says, do me a favor. Can you get behind the counter and kind of show them what you used to do? I said, yes. I said, well, because once it's in you,
Yes, it's always, yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of people ask me how I got in the pageant business. Well, it actually started from the cosmetic industry, because I used to have a lot of pageant girls that used to come to the counter and say, I need a lot of help. And I used to look at them and go, no, you don't. And then I started going out and doing makeover for a lot of these pageants. I mean, I even worked at Miss Universe, and then how I got that was my intro into pageantry, and then I competed in one of the Mrs. pageants, and I won the state, and then I made the top 10 at nationals. But then when people found out that I was a singer, I started singing at all these pageants. And I said, well, you know what? I might as well start something on my own. And that's when I came down here, I started Miss Latina International. And then that became so popular. But there were a lot of women that said to me, I don't have a Latin background. How can I get involved? And then we created Ms. International World. And so, but that's how, from the beauty business, that's how I kind of evolved. And it's like the snowball effect. One thing went to the other. That's why when I was in the entertainment business, they used to say to me, bypass Angela. She knows how to do makeup. Because, everybody that was on stage, a lot of them didn't know how to. But they used to bypass me. They said, she's done. Let her go. So, but no, I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic. And you know what it is? If a woman is not feeling herself that day and she's down and whatever, she may be depressed over something, and you put those lashes on her,
Yeah.
it's creating a whole
Makes you
new
so
look.
happy. And the lashes it's also artistry. You can make very natural. You can make very dramatic. You can make any look you want with extensions. They come in all different sizes. And it's actually more. I had one client who husband is ophthalmologist, eye doctor.
Ah,
He
okay.
said it's so much more hygienic that, like you said, not many people know how to apply mascara.
Right, right.
To have extensions, it's more hygienic because you don't put anything in your eyes. So I end up, this ophthalmologist sent me so many clients. He sent me whole his family, daughter, wife, cousins, sisters. He's doctor. He's like,
Yeah.
get your lashes, it's better than mascara.
And here's the funniest thing. I had to have a minor procedure in the hospital last Monday. And the first thing, they call you a couple of days ahead of time to make sure whatever you're taking your medicine. The first thing that the nurse said to me, light makeup. I said, well, you're talking to the right person. I said, I know how to do light makeup. And she said, if you have false eyelashes, you don't have to, she said, the permanent ones, you don't have to remove them. And I was like, years ago, if you went for a procedure or you went for an operation, you got to be face had to be clean, no. And I said to her, I said, gee, I said, now I've been, I said, in the business a long time. I said, but that's the first, I said, that I heard. And she said to me, she said, oh no, she said, even in the medical field, that is all changed because they feel that if you put mascara on and they have to cover your face, they might get it in their eyes or whatever. She said, but if you have the permanent lashes, she says, no, you don't have to do anything. She said, no one has to get them removed. It's fine. I said, and even light makeup, I was shocked at that. So I said, boy, has the industry changed even in about, and some of the doctors feel that's more a little hypogenic than, like you said.
Yes, but they have to be done right. You have to have
Yes.
license because right now, like 12 years ago, it was 1,000 hours training. Then you have to do lash school. Now, for some reason, it's like, let me train you 3-4 days and then you can do it. Then, like, it's,
Yeah.
they have to be done professionally.
It has to be done professionally. And that's the only thing in the cosmetic industry today that even I can see. When I was in the cosmetic industry starting out, I mean, the training was enormous. I mean, you couldn't even go on the counter until you really had that training. And I had even taken the training for Estee Lauder, and Estee Lauder had almost a 6 to 8 week training. They paid you for the training, but if you didn't pass that test, there was no way they were putting you out in front of the counter. Okay, now today
it's like they will come to the counter and train you very quick.
Right, or they tell you do online training, and I'm
Yes,
like,
it's
wait,
not the same.
It's not the same. And one day I was talking to a girl, and she was new, and I said, all right, don't worry about it. I said, I know this business. I said, I can kind of guide you. And I said, what'd you do before? She said, oh, I was a cashier over in public. I said, and they just put you out on the floor like this? She said, I know. She said, I'm very nervous.
It's kind of sad that standards just go down.
Right, exactly. And like I say, in the day, you know how it was. There was no way you were getting on the floor unless you were extremely well trained. So it's changed, but things evolve. Hopefully, it will
Everybody wants quick.
Quick, yeah.
But
Okay.
The
quality, and a lot of times when I go in the store, I'll look at some of these girls. I'm like scratching my head, saying, "Well, years ago when we worked in the cosmetic industry, you had to be made up. Because you were promoting a product. So you had to look like the people coming in wanted to look,
Yes.
okay? Today I go in, they go, they don't hardly have any makeup on. I said, how could someone relate? But you're right, everything is quick, it's changed. So what you're doing is actually bringing back old school, which I love to see because now I feel there's professionalism in there.
Yes.
Really what needs to come back is all that professionalism. So, and I see that after COVID, you moved from being in the stores to going more into private.
Yes, because after the COVID, nobody wants to really come to the salon. So I end
No.
up just have my home studio and it makes it more relaxing. Some clients come with even a little puppies or babies. It's more relaxing. I have massage table.
Oh,
They
that's
usually, get lashes done and get little nap. And they would say that was my most relaxing hour in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. I love that, In fact, when, I don't know if you remember, when I worked for Lancome, Saks had the Institute. Okay, in the Institute, they did hair there, they did massages, Of course, the permanent lashes weren't in at that time, but women used to go upstairs and say, "Oh my God, I feel so relaxed," because it was a full day of relaxation.
Yeah, it was like a little experience, even if it's like 30, 40 minutes, but still it's very relaxing, very peaceful.
Yeah, it was. Okay. But you're right. Everything, when a woman comes to a counter or doing something like you do, it should be a relaxing
Hmm.
because sometimes I know even when I go get my hair done, okay, and the color is sitting there and I got my head back, it's just and you know what? If I've had a full day and I do that at the end of the day, I go home, I'm relaxed, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I can think about some of the other things that I had to do. Okay, so I love that idea. You've got, like you say, you've got a massage table there. I've got to get there. This is
You
now I'm
have
saying,
to.
um,
My that house is really like a spa house. Everything
ooh,
is
I love
white.
it.
Everything white, clean. Nobody, my kids in school, so I'm by myself. Just do lashes in my little studio. It's really relaxing. My mom give a coffee, tea.
Oh wow, you get the whole nine. You get the
The
whole nine
whole,
yards there. Yeah, the
yeah.
coffee, the tea, and you know it's funny because I had owned a salon in New Jersey. It was called Sophisticate. And that's what we did at my salon. And I had some women estheticians that came in. We had a room, a private room where there was just, massage and facials. But we always served coffee, tea, and on a Saturday, sometimes I would cater breakfast or I would cater lunch. And these women, they just felt so relaxed that they were coming
Hmm.
in to get their hair done or they were coming in to get their nails done. They just, it was just a relaxing day. Okay. And to me, I love that because and like you say, things shouldn't be quick. It should go back to where you're taking your time with that client. They relax, and then they get that trust in you, and they always
Right.
want to come back.
I feel like they're my like best friends. Like I don't even have to go out and do anything because it's the whole connection. We're really friends for so many years. And it's
Right,
also you have to build a trust. You live with your eyes closed and then, it's a
right,
trust.
exactly. That's it. That's a trust, and when they trust you, then they start telling other people, and it's always word of mouth. You can do it as
Right.
much advertising as you want, but when you have that trust with a community or friends or family, that's what makes a business grow.
Right.
Okay, and
So all my clients actually word of mouth. I did
wow.
zero advertisement. At some point, I had 200 clients, so I would have 100 clients every week. Now I'm a little bit less, like 60, 70 clients. So I have still 150 clients. But every single client, they come because somebody recommend. It's
Right.
also because it's in my house and I have like really, I have to trust client has to trust me. So I don't advertise.
Yeah,
So
exactly. If it's in your house, yeah. If you were like in a studio or a mall or
yeah.
something like that, that's different. Yeah. But if it's your private home, so which is good because you have your private clients,
Right.
and you again you're building that trust, and they're trusting you, and you're trusting them. So I know that's going to be that's great. I love that. That's just made my day.
And I really, because I work home and because I love my clients, I really don't have hours. You can come to me 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. If you have emergency, I do Sundays, I do Saturdays, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Like,
Wow.
because why not? I'm home
Why
and
not? Yeah.
I love clients, so come anytime.
Right. That
But I have
sounds
strict schedule. I have like schedule every day is like,
exactly. That sounded like me. When I had my salon, I still went out and did weddings. I had in New Jersey, unbelievable wedding business I had, and I used to do Saturdays and Sundays. I'd be out on the road doing makeovers, and I didn't care if I went out 7 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, why not? You
Yeah,
you love when you do what you love. It's like
ex-
your hobby.
exactly. That's just it. And I mean, again, word of mouth. That's how I became very popular. Even though people knew I had the salon, they said, and I used to go to all the wedding shows, give out my cards. I used to have tables there. And before I know it, it was unbelievable. Okay. So between that, and then when I was doing the East Coast tour of Phantom of the Opera, I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. And, I had people that would run the salon for me. So I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to myself to catch up. So but I didn't mind because
Yeah.
when you love what you do,
Yes. Anytime.
yeah. I mean, I don't care if I was when I was in the entertainment business, I don't care if I was on stage at 12 o'clock at night. I said, oh,
Because you love it.
right, exactly. And I always tease my husband about this. I said, you know what I like the most about it? I said, I'll tell you what, you go, you do the job, you get the check, you go home. When you're in a department store, you got to answer to this, you got to do stock with that. You do your job and you go home. So that's what I loved about that. And I'm sure that's probably now, like you say, what you love doing. If you got to do a client at 8 o'clock in the morning, you'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah, yesterday I had 6 clients because I have to take a couple hours, to come here. So I have to
Right.
get those 4 clients come on Sunday.
Come on Sunday, yeah.
I need couple hours.
Blame me for not relaxing. Yes. Well, I was catching up yesterday too because I knew I had to be here. So sometimes Sunday I'll catch up on things, and then. But that's like with our show. We like when you said to me, you said, "How is the show going to be based?" And I said, "Don't worry, I'll start the conversation." I've had people that have come in here and, oh my God, they've never been in front of a camera. They get out of here and they go, "Wow, that was easy." I said, "I told you." Well, it's just because I've been on stage for so long, so I know I could walk in a room and start a conversation with someone and be like, okay, I'm going from scratch. So, but do you anything you want to tell our viewers? Like, there's a phone number where to reach you, or
I guess would be the best text me because I usually really always with clients. The best way is to text me, and my
right?
phone number is 954-678-7776.
Ah,
Just text me, I need lashes. I'll text you back and I'll put you on my schedule.
absolutely
954-678-7776.
right.
Very simple.
Exactly. And also, I hope that we are going to see you at the Women Business Expo.
Absolutely.
I think you'll do very, very well there if you have a table or even you're a speaker. It's going to be excellent. And I have a lot of pageant girls that want to get this done. So I will make sure I refer the business to you. But I want to tell my viewers out there, it's been a wonderful, wonderful session here today with Victoria Greenberg. We both have a lot in common. And I met her a few weeks ago. She is one of the loveliest people that I have met in a long time. And if you you call her and text her, trust me, you are going to get well taken care of. So, Victoria, I'm so glad that you had the time to be with us today.
Thank you, Angela.
And
Thank
get
you
on,
so much.
no problem, and get on Make Our World Your Runway. And as I always tell our viewers, make sure you subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so that this Thursday you can see this show and all our shows from Make Our World Your Runway. And remember to tune in every week because we're going to come back with another show again next week. And it's always a little bit different, but keep in mind, we interview everyone. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week on Make Our World Your Runway.